Along with LED headlights, JDM ASTAR also offers interior LED lights. These are just, some samples of what they offer, and Jose's going to go over some more in detail about what each one is and what each one does. Color, light output application. Pretty cool display up there you guys have.
Thank you. Yeah, that's actually something we give to any wholesale buyers. Anybody interested in distributing or becoming part of the JDM ASTAR team, that is something that's usually provided for free for anyone that needs a display at their shop.
Okay.
So as far as the different LEDs on this actual display, there's actually a few already installed there. These are pretty much smaller bulbs you find in the exterior of most cars. This one here is a traditional bayonet style. It's an 1157. It's got two contacts at the end. The base of the bulb, the round metal part, is the ground.
Your turn signal.
Yeah, this is basically like a turn signal, tail and brake light, but you mainly find it like on Korean type cars or older model vehicles. Mm-hmm. And this would replace like an actual brake light, since it's a red light. This would be like a tail light function, and this would be like a brake light function. And then, of course, smaller type bulbs. These are amber T10s. This is a 3014 model. Very common with side markers. Side markers, park lights, and red color would be good as a tail light as well. That would be an amber LED. And then, of course, the backup
Man,
light.
those suckers are bright, dude.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, retina burn. That's mentioned in our application when you first apply.
Is it retina burn?
No, but definitely.
No, I mean, I'm just amazed at how much light output this little bulb is giving. When I don't know if the camera's picking up for you guys out there in YouTube land, but I mean, that sucker's bright. Can't see.
And
next one being
this T10. One here. It's in a T10 socket. The wedge itself is very small and allows it to fit into any T10 socket. However, the design is not exactly recommended for T10 because it's usually something you find in interior housings and smaller type housings for the exterior. But this would be more like a backup light T15 wedge type, and it's a 9-to-1 bulb. This is actually has a patent design by us, and the output on something like this is about 1,000. So get ready on this one, John.
Now I really can't see.
Yeah, this one.
That's ridiculous. Now wait, what would that be for?
This particular design, backup lighting.
931.
921, but yeah, 31.
921. I'm sorry. Yeah. For the guys that are looking for more, more light output on their reverse lights. Oh man.
You'll get used to that.
I should have brought my sunglasses. Down here.
These ones here, you'll find some exterior type turn signal bulbs. Our 3030 lineup. These two here are the ones that are very popular for this switchback conversion. This model here.
Okay.
This is our 3030 series. It uses about 13 diodes. You've got 12 surrounding the entire bulb, and then the projector, you've got another few under there. So in total, about 14.
Is that another brake light?
This would be a brake light replacement. The way the diodes are tinted, I don't know if you can see it, but there should be red. That retina burn is really getting us.
Yeah, they're red.
But I can show you to see what this looks like here. This would fit into a 3157. That would be the tail function. And this would be the brake. And we offer different designs to kind of cater to every car and driver. And an earlier design that the 3030s was actually derived from. This is our PX switchback. This is pretty much what started all the switchback hype. Everything on Amazon and eBay that you see, this pretty much blew that out of the water and started making switchbacks even more popular.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. I haven't heard that word switchback. What is switchback?
That's a good question. It's switchback. It's a lot like one of these brake and tail lights where you've got a low and a high.
Okay.
But rather than changing the light intensity, we're just changing the color. So the amount of power driven to the circuit, whether the white or the amber chips are on, it's all the same. So the intensity typically stays the same, but with the amber color, because it's amber, you don't get the same brightness as white. So for the low side, you would get white. If this was a brake light bulb, this would basically be the tail function, and then it'll switch to amber when you engage the turn signal.
That's a switchback.
That's a switchback. And then once you're done switching, then it would go back to white. This is actually what you see on a lot of newer Lexus, Audi, a lot of European type cars. Mercedes, I've seen them on before. Except the difference between this and that is you're not adding in a couple $1,000s to your financing. Something that's a little bit more affordable.
These will fit on motorcycles as well. I mean, some applications will switch over.
Motorcycles, yes. Not that particular size.
Yeah.
I usually find 1157s, but that one is definitely an essential feature for motorcycles because it helps for noticeability. So when bikes are behind other cars, that driver is going to be able to notice them a lot easier that they're signaling for a turn.
Okay. Yeah, you guys had a bike at SEMA.
Oh yeah, that was a Yamaha R1.
That was a bad bike.
It was sweet, man. Had that swing arm, 360-inch tire, 13-inch rim in the back. That thing was nice.
Are these both switchbacks right here?
No. That would be just a replacement for like a tail and brake light because of the color. But
Okay.
it's also available in white, amber, and red.
Okay. Now we're getting into dome lights, the lights on your door.
Yeah, these are the two most common sizes, or at least type of bulbs in the interior. We've got wedge type T10s. That'd be this guy here.
What other numbers are associated with T10?
T10s honestly is a long number. The more common ones like 194, 168, 192. Usually a few numbers. W5W is also one. This one actually has a patent design as well, so we're the only brand in the US to carry something like this. And it's good for interior, it's definitely good for exterior. The output on something like this is about 100 lumens per bulb. So
What exterior light would it be on?
this I would use it as a license plate or a side marker.
Nice. Yes.
And then this one over here would be a festoon style. Festoon style is what I like to call the bullet type bulbs. They kind of have that glass in the center with the two contact points at each end. But this one basically uses a heat sink for cooling to maintain efficiency and of course keep the diodes happy. And the diodes are all mounted at the end. So when it's positioned, all lights concentrated towards the lens.
Now is this one specific to which way you put it in?
No.
I've installed some bulbs where you put it in, it doesn't light up. Flip it over.
Typically on
It lights
polarized
up.
LED. This one's not polarity sensitive, so it would light up regardless of the position it's installed. So this would be the G4 headlight. Oh, it's not plugged in.
Oh man. That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. That's 4,000 lumens we're seeing there. 6,500K. And that's all AEC chip lighting.
How many watts does that pull?
This one puts out about 30 watts of bulb. So it is higher than normal.
That's 30 watts.
Yeah, 30 watts in power draw.
Okay.
810s actually draw a lot less. These actually only simulate a 25 watt load. Within LED language, that's definitely a huge difference. 5 watts in draw is going to make a big difference in the long run for the efficiency and the lifespan of LED. But this is also 4,000 lumens a bulb. And the advantage with this one is, well, you can hear it.
There's no fan. All right, shut them off real quick, Jose. So just one thing I want to confirm with you, when you're installing these headlights, you want the LEDs at the 3 and 6 position, just like this, not at the 12 and 6. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
With the way a lot of housings are made,
So just like that, guys, you want it installed like that, not like this. And showing the housing here real quick,
yeah.
you can explain, kind of explain why that is.
Well, a lot of vehicle housings, they're not necessarily symmetrical up and down and side to side. So when you utilize an LED that changes the direction of where the light's being concentrated in the housing, the way that housing is designed is going to reflect to the pattern. So it's going to give you a lot of unfocused lighting. It's going to scatter it. You can get a lot of dark spots or a lot of hot spots in the areas you don't want the light to be in. So it's essential to the pattern to have the light concentrated from left to right. And for the houses that are a little more symmetrical, round, and I'm talking about like everything identical from top, bottom, side to side, those ones you can get away with changing the position, but for the most part, left to right is the best option by far.
Okay. Yeah. 3 and 6, not 12. I mean, 3 and 9, not 12 and 6. Anything new, exciting coming out for 2019?
2019, we are actually going to be relocating to a larger warehouse facility with it.
Nice.
Yes, thanks to the support and the help of all of our JDM supporters. Big thanks to you guys. We're in a small office before, and now we're relocating for the second time. So huge thanks to all of our brand supporters and anyone that's been basically supporting our brand since day one.
Okay. All right. Any technical questions, they can contact you?
Definitely. If you guys have any questions at all, our website is jdmastar.com. Our contact information is on there. You can reach us by phone or by email.
What's your email address?
Our email address is service@jdmastar.com.
All right. Jose, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for stopping
Great
by.
meeting you. Thank you.
Pleasure, man.
All right, guys. Take care.